some sugar on me. In the name of love, pour some sugar on me. That's good stuff. Oh, nobody. Nobody getting the notes. Notifications are not going out. It's a shame. It really is a shame, you know. Fucking YouTube is back on its bullshit once again. Boys and girls. YouTube, once in a while, is clutch, but very rarely. YouTube has a lot of bugs and a lot of kinks that still need to be worked out. And we're going to go over those bugs and those kinks right now, okay? First bug and kink they need a fix, YouTube I'm talking about, is the fact that YouTube will randomly pick random pages you're subscribed to and they will unclick the bell so you won't get any notifications. Now, when you subscribe to a page, you click the bell, correct? Because you want to get notified when they're going live, you want to see their videos, be the first to see it, blah, 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 blah. And YouTube sometimes just takes it upon themselves to go onto those pages and unclick that bell for you so you do not get any of the notifications for these channels. If you watch very closely, you'll start developing and seeing a pattern of pages that they do this to. That would be the UFO pages, that would be Nibiru pages, that would be anything conspiracy theory. Like, something's wrong with my arm right now. Like, it almost feels like it's like numb. Like going to sleep. It's like weird. My arm is feeling funny right now. Like it almost feels like there's something like blocking the blood from flowing properly in my veins. It feels like there's like a blockage and like my whole arm is like going numb for some reason. Like almost like falling asleep. It's like weird. And there's like nothing I can do about it. Even my fingers are colder on this hand. Look at the contrast. This hand's white. This hand's normal skin color. You see that? I don't know, it feels weird. But yeah, the YouTube kinks, the bell notifications, they click the bell from certain channels. Also, they will just straight up unsubscribe you from certain channels, and these channels include, you know, UFO, Nibiru, anything conspiracy theory. They will unsub you from them, unclick the bell from them. They just don't. They don't want you getting the content. You know, they don't want you receiving the message, getting the data, chemtrails, anything, you name it. Anything to do with UFOs, chemtrailing, Planet X's, anything, you know, the government does not want you to know about. they are pretty good at, and also they're good at, if you run a page like I run a page, I run a UFO slash Skywatch, Sky Phenomenon, space related, current events channel. And they don't put my notifications out a lot of times either. Back when I was an Nibiru freedom fighter, it was all the time. My notifications would go out like one in every 3 or 4 live feeds. There were times I would have to keep restarting my live feed, 5, 6, 7, 8 fucking times sometimes before a notification would go out. It's fucked up. YouTube's got a lot of fucking bugs still. It's got a lot of kinks that need to be worked out still, I don't know if is that, some people might say maybe that's the government, taking over, taking the reins, taking control. Maybe they're doing it. They don't want you seeing it. You know what I mean? Well, I don't believe that. I believe I don't think they can just go into their fucking computers and their data and do shit like that. You know what I mean? I think it would have to be a joint effort, and I think they would be being coached into what, they're working together basically at things they don't want you seeing. Sometimes you'll post a video that's just out of this world, fucking, you'll think you'll catch something good, and it's happened to me. UFO videos that I went to go upload would suddenly just not load at all, and then they would just dip right off my phone without a trace. It's fucking weird. It's happened to me before. Other times I've gone, though this has nothing to do with YouTube, other times I've gone to hit the camera button to start filming when I think I see something in the sky, or when I do see something in the sky, and no matter how many times I hit the button, it won't start recording. Weird things like that, almost like it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant, and then there's other times, that you might post something, right? And then 5 minutes later, you think about it, you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have posted that. And then you go up to delete it, and it's already gone. It never loaded. And you're like, wow, that was meant to be. Skies above me, it's more snow, more clouds. We got hit with another snowstorm this week, another 8 inches or so, winds whipping around. For the last couple of days, it's just been real snowy, windy. Today we had some peaks of sun peeking out here and there, but for the moment, it's still partly to mostly cloudy out there. And you literally cannot see one star in the entire sky at all. No stars. Even in the clear spots, you can't really see the stars. I don't know if there's like a haze. Sometimes, in our atmosphere, there will be like this, like almost like haze, like a fog type of deal, but you really can't see it with the naked eye. But it'll just be this layer, or this like haze layer. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you're a sky watcher, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen it at night, in front of the moon. There'll just be like this haze. You know what I'm saying? There won't be no clouds out, but yet it'll still look kind of cloudy, and there'll be a haze. Why that happens, I have no idea. I know there's, just driving around during the days, you can almost see this dust in the air. It almost looks like a fog everywhere, but not fog. And it just looks like there's like certain dust particles that are always there now during the day when you're looking around in the sky and everything. And I don't know what that has to do with. I don't know why. Could that be iron oxide from Planet X, Planet Nibiru, as they say? Who knows? I do know for a fact that last summer and the summer before that, last summer was even worse. Anytime I would go outside for extended periods of time, and I'm talking, a couple of hours, and I would come back in the house, my shoes would always have this orangish, reddish, like dust. It almost looked like metallic shavings almost. and it was orangish red. And I don't know what it was. Still no idea what it was. And, people were like, oh, it's pollen. This and that. So I Googled pictures of pollen, what they would look like on stuff. They look similar, but it's not pollen. It's a whole other color in itself. And plus, there would be times I wouldn't even be anywhere near grass, and I would get the shit on my shoes. So, are there chemicals and dust and all kinds of shit coming into our atmosphere? You bet your ass there is. The ozone layer and everything is basically gone. There's a hole right through it. And some people believe that that's why they chemtrail, to act like an extra layer of protection for the deadly sun rays, that might hit Earth. Because a kill shot could happen. We have solar flares all the time. We have huge coronal holes that open up on the sun's surface. And when that happens, if Earth is facing the sun in that hole at that time, these bursts of energy come out of the sun. And, they head straight for Earth. And without the ozone layer and all this stuff protecting it, them deadly rays are able to, travel at the speed of light. And they go right down to the ground. And they can fry out everything. All of our grids, every computer in the world, fry everything. It could take us months to years to get all that shit back up and running again. And people don't even look at this as even being an option, but it is. And it could happen. It very well could very fucking one day happen. And with the sun's activities in the last couple of years, acting all strange, huge coronal holes, it's going to happen sooner than later. And a lot of people, including myself, believe that that's why they are chemtrailing. They're basically terraforming the planet, but in a sense, they're putting an extra layer of protection up in the sky for us. And if you ever see sundogs and stuff, you see how, different rays of light project off of these chemtrails. And I believe that the chemtrails actually act like a second layer of protection for us. Like, how we have our ozone, and then our ozone's fucked up, so shit still gets through. Well, the shit that gets through, this is like another wall it's got to go through. You know what I mean? It's like a barrier, a smoke screen, as you may. And I believe that's why they are chemtrailing. I believe it. Hello, Jeffersonville, Indiana. Hello, Jeffersonville, Indiana. How you doing? Where was I think I was just reading something about Indiana today, that some serial killer that lived near there. I called him the I-70 killer. I was somewhere in Indiana. But yeah, that's my firm belief, and I believe they're chemtrailing for that reason. Sure, the chemtrails, which they never will admit are chemtrails, they still call them contrails to this day. But sure, there's toxic material in, that stuff, and we do breathe it in, and you're going to have higher cancer levels and everything, but, they see it as a greater good. Some people must die for the greater of mankind to go on and live on. You get what I'm saying? So that's the way they look at it. Sure, more people will get cancer from breathing these chemtrails in, but also it's going to stop us from going completely down, and then there would be mass chaos. There wouldn't be no food able to get to the supermarkets, because all that shit's computerized. What's going on, which truck, the orders, all that shit's computerized. So if all our grids are down, the stores are not even getting supplies. So therefore, it would just be no electricity. People would be in a mass panic because there would be a food shortage, everything shortage, and people would go absolutely nuts. And, a few more people getting cancer in their eyes isn't that big of a deal when you're considering what could actually take place if a CME or something were to strike efficiently like a kill shot and hit the surface of Earth. We would be in some deep shit, people. Some deep shit. We face threats every day, not only from the sun, but from space in general. The UFO sightings are increasing on the daily. Asteroids. I just read an article about asteroids today, and experts were saying that when the dinosaurs were killed, when they were killed by the asteroid that wiped the dinosaurs out 66 million years ago, or billion, whatever it was, I think it was million, 66 million years ago, they said the asteroid, near-Earth asteroid activity has increased times 20 from back then. So they got taken out when there wasn't really many asteroids flying towards Earth. Now there's like triple to quadruple the times the amount of asteroids coming towards us. It's inevitable that one eventually will be big enough to cause an extinction level event. And they say use that word because it doesn't sound so scary. But to me, it's even more scarier than it sounds. To me, that word is the eeriest thing. I don't want to hear that word because that means we're all doomed. Extinction level event. And one will happen one day. We're not getting any, things are not getting better here on Earth. The younger generations growing up, they have no respect. They have no nothing. You know what I mean? And that's just going to get worse because they're going to start having kids, and then it's just going to be complete chaos. So Earth is in a downward spiral right now, and we're headed for dark, dark times. And UFOs, space programs happening. Do they want to stage a fake alien invasion here on Earth? To generate money for war, generates money. Are they sick of just trying covering up and covering up? Is it too much to have to do nowadays, especially with the increased sightings and mass sightings? It's becoming a lot harder to cover up, and acclimating us towards disclosure would seem like the right thing to do. And I believe that's in stages of process right now. It's taking place. With Brisk Ice-T's having alien shows and movies every week. Seems like another one's coming out. That only tells you one thing, people, that disclosure is coming. But will something else come first? What do you think would happen first? Or is more likely to happen? A CME strike, a kill shot, knocking out all our grids, or an asteroid hitting somewhere on the planet and annihilating everything? What is more susceptible to actually happening for us in our lifetime? And I would have to say, even though the kill shot, is up there, I think the sun's still healthy enough where it's not going to happen. I think our biggest threat as mankind, as the human race, our biggest threat is asteroids. That is our biggest threat. It's not UFOs and aliens. It's asteroids. Some say we have the technology to fly rockets up with nuclear bombs on them and blow these things up into dust particles so that we don't get hit. Some say it's already happened with OSIRIS-REx back in 2016 when they launched OSIRIS-REx up, when it had the picture of the dynamite breaking apart the asteroid, kind of like a fuck you, you're not going to do this to us again type of thing. As U.S.'s way of being funny, I reckon, I take. But did that actually really happen? Well, OSIRIS-REx never came back down. I never read any articles about it making a safe landing somewhere. It's up there somewhere. It's either floating around somewhere or it hit an asteroid and blew it up. And part of me thinks that's why the Mayan calendars and everything, stopped at a certain date, because, they knew an asteroid was going to wipe us out. But then once we, started getting these crashed UFO vehicles and were able to, come up with this technology and things were just so much greater, we came up with the capabilities to even destroy asteroids. I believe that the world was supposed to end. I don't know what date in 2016 when the asteroid was supposedly supposed to hit us, or if it wasn't supposed to hit us to this year, what, I don't know. But I'm a firm believer that actually happened. And I think we do have the technology. But then why build the underground bunkers? And would underground bunkers be safe from floods? I don't think they would be, because water would seep in cracks and, whatever. I don't know. Why go through the trouble of building these underground cities just so they can, maybe the whole reasoning behind the bunkers is not for people to live at all, because I've never seen in any of these U.S. government bunkers, I've never seen any living quarters in these underground tunnels. All they show in the videos are the roads and the trucks driving past, and there's trucks parked here and here and here. I believe that they just use that, to carry, a UFO crashes in Kansas, okay, near Kansas City, say, and they want to get it to the nearest Air Force base without being seen. They don't want to put a tarp on and fly it out in the open because people will say, "Oh, look at the shape of that tarp," start raising questions. So maybe they particularly built these things so that they can keep their secrets covered up and they can, go to and from different locations and move underground without being seen. You know what I mean? There's probably a bunker that comes right under Buffalo. Who knows? I heard they stretch all throughout the entire country, going from a base to base to base to base to base. Closest base we have to us is the Niagara Falls Air Force Base. It's an actual Air Force base. Not too many fighter jets stage out of there though. It's mostly the bomber planes. The big, huge bomber, the cargo type looking planes, C-130, whatever the fuck they're called. That's mostly what we have here in the Western New York area. Are the big, greenish and the grayish looking cargo, big, huge joints. We don't see too many jets. They do have jets, fighter jets, F-16s and shit, but we don't see too many of them. Last year, we seen some in the sky, and we seen, regular gray ones, and we seen the blue and the white and red and blue ones flying over too in formation, like a bat out of hell. They were ripping through the fucking sky, like a bat out of hell, and they were in like formations of like 5 or 6 of them, and then thered be a couple of stragglers flying behind them that weren't in formation. Don't ask me why, I have no idea, but they were all flying south at a rapid fucking speed. And then I seen one maybe a year and a half ago during the summer when I was walking to work, my old work, and because it was close to the house, it wasn't that far. I was able to walk there, and I seen this weird thing in the sky. I didn't know what it was, if it was a plane or what, but it was flying all weird, and it stopped. Then it disappeared in the clouds, and then all of a sudden an Army helicopter, like an Apache helicopter, flew overhead and was going in that direction. And then probably about 30 seconds later, 2 fighter jets came ripping through the sky, ripping through the fucking sky, headed over there. And, I could only assume that they were probably chasing a UFO out of our atmosphere and back into space. Because I believe they do that. If they pick them up on radar, I know for a fact they probably scramble fighter jets up just to make sure, they're not doing something they shouldn't be doing, whatever. And sometimes the UFOs will fuck with them. Other times, they've had firefights. The Phoenix Lights, remember the Phoenix Lights? That was a big cover-up, people. Those weren't UFOs you were seeing. They were flares you were seeing. And the reason they were flares is because they wanted to get everybody's attention off the mountains over to the distance and the miles and miles away. They wanted to get their attention away from there and on these lights. And the reason they wanted to do that is because they were having a firefight with these UFOs right in the fucking sky. They were shooting at each other. The fight did ensue. And there are, numerous witnesses that were out in that mountains camping and riding dirt bikes and shit like that seen this and witnessed this. Witnessed UFOs flying over their head, witnessed jets chasing them. Supposedly, one witness said he's seen an actual UFO get shot down. They seen a F-16 whatever get shot down by a UFO. And supposedly that's what actually happened during the Phoenix Lights. What the people were actually looking at were flares. And all to divert their attention from the firefight that was happening in the sky between the fighter jets and the UFOs off to the one mountain or whatever. There was a certain name for the mountain. I can't remember. Or it was like a little valley or desert region. I don't fucking know. All I know is it was, whatever, south of Phoenix, east of Phoenix, west, something. That's all I know. I didn't do too much research on it. I just hear the stories. Know what I'm saying? If the grid goes down, we're all in deep shit. Yeah. Tell me about it, Disclosure. Fucking tell me about it. country world are you broadcasting from? I'm broadcasting from Buffalo, New York. Sandwiched right in between the Great Lakes, two of the most eeriest UFO spots in the world, Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. I'm right alongside the Niagara River that's sandwiched right in between the two Great Lakes that connects to the two Great Lakes. That's where I'm at. If the grids go down, we are fucked. Because, like I said, food will not be able to get to the supermarkets at all. You know, all that shit's computerized. People fail to realize that and remember that. Okay? They have to place an order. It's all on computer. They order what they want for the store. They put it on the truck so the guys know what to put on the truck. They get the sheets from the computer. It's on a computer screen. Now, without any of that, no food is getting to any of the stores. All computers, all electricity's down. The food's going to all go bad anyways. And people are going to literally starve to death. And people are going to resort to cannibalism. People are going to rape, pillage, steal, kill, murder. It's going to be complete chaos. It's going to be like the Purge movie, okay? And people will attack you for your food sources, your water sources. They will rape your daughters. They will rape your mothers, your wives, your girlfriends. Shit will get wicked, man. It really will. But not if you have a preparation plan. Not if you have a group of people, because you need to travel in packs during situations like that, because your strength will be in your numbers. They're not going to want to attack a camp of fucking 30 or 40 people. You know what I'm saying? If it's 3 or 4 guys, whatever. They're not going to, because they're going to lose. So they usually don't, okay? So if you're by yourself, you're going to get completely taken advantage of. You have to be with others, strength in numbers. So you have to find people you can trust and set up a preparation plan. Listen, if this ever happens and the grids do go down, we're all going to meet up at this location. Bring, bag of clothes, whatever, your food supplies, whatever, and we're all going to meet at this location, and we're going to go from there. Whatever have you. We'll find a base camp, blah, blah, blah. We'll set up shop, build some walls, some fucking alarm, whatever. Mrs. NFF is not here. Oh, yeah, it's cold. Today it was about 21 degrees, 21, 22 degrees. With the wind chill, it was probably like 10 degrees out. A couple days ago, it was below zero for a few days. At the end of this month, we're supposed to have an Arctic blast come through. And it's supposed to be below zero for like 2 weeks straight. Every single day. We're talking, 13, 14, 15 below zero. With strong winds, which is even worse. There'll be code blues all over the city. The homeless people, they'll be driving around the city, scraping them up off the street, getting them inside, because if not, they will freeze to death and they will die. Well, thank you. Get over it. Thank you. I appreciate that. She's not really sick, but she's got something that has the ability to make her sick. But the grids, man. But I still say our biggest threat is asteroids. And I hope that a grid situation never happens so we ever have to see the capability of humans. You know what I mean? And what they're capable of if put in a situation with their back up against the wall. I hope we never have to see that. I firmly believe that an asteroid will be the end of us all. And I believe it's going to happen in 2021, 2022, or 2023. One of those 3 years, I believe it's going to happen. Just like the dinosaurs went extinct, these things are humongous. They're fucking huge. They're huge. They're fucking huge. And yet, they go extinct. We're like ants to some of those dinosaurs. What do you think would happen if what killed them hit when we were alive? What do you think would happen? We'd die. I'm sure that, they're, even with an asteroid, it won't be a total extinction level event. There will be people to survive it, high elevations, whatever. I'm sure people will fight or flight, find a way to survive. Not everyone will die, but the death toll from an asteroid will be in the millions. billions of people dead. And it's going to be like the earth cleansing itself. If you look at the moon, people, the moon gets hit like every other day with asteroids and meteorites and shit. You see kinds of video. Look, during the blood moon, there was even videos of something hitting the moon. This shit happens. It doesn't have a protective layer like we have. But you see how frequent. Just look at all the craters on the moon. Every single one of those craters was from a rock that came from space that hit that planet. And all you see are craters fucking everywhere when you look at blown up pictures of the moon. So that's how many asteroids and meteors are coming at us on a daily basis. But most of them aren't that big to penetrate Earth's, Earth, penetrate through our atmosphere to actually hit the ground and cause severe damage. And it really doesn't have to. Look at the one in Russia. That one had a sonic boom with it, broke windows, killed a few people, and people actually died. So asteroids are by far the biggest threat to the human race as a whole. I'd have to say that. The extraterrestrials are here to help our world. I believe I'm with you 100% on that disclosure. I've been saying that for years. If they wanted to harm us or kill us, they would have did so already. We would have long been gone. But you see countless numbers of times them, fucking around with our nuclear missile silos and rendering them useless. And they're telling us shit. They're telling us peace. No, we don't want to see you destroy yourself. They don't want to see nothing bad happen to Earth. They like Earth just as much as we do. They like coming here. They like, running tests and, doing. They don't want to see us, go extinct. I know that for a fact. Because if they want us extinct, they have the technology. They can just probably push a button and we'd all go extinct. So I agree with you 100%, Disclosure. I agree with you 100%, brother. Or sister. I don't know if you're male or female. I say bro a lot to people, even though I don't know if they're male or female, because they don't really have a profile picture of themselves, but I agree with you 100%. I am here, babe. Rich is on the way. Thank you for the bears, everyone. Okay. Hit the like button and share, please. Ever heard of Dr. Stephen Greer? Of course I've heard of Stephen Greer. I'm a ufologist. I like to consider myself one. I'm a lover of UFOs. All things UFOs, aliens related. I, spent most of my life fascinated with the subject. And, my number one priority, my number one thing I'm fighting for is disclosure for everybody, and it's channels like mine that are helping to do so. You know what I mean? It's opening people's minds, swaying people's opinions. People that were non-believers, might see a video and say, wow, maybe there is something to this, theory, blah, blah, blah. So that's my number one goal in this whole thing, I want to help the people, and I want answers. I want the truth. I want us to have the truth for once, or at least some version of the truth. It doesn't have to be full disclosure. I'm not asking for full disclosure in all the technologies you have. All I want to know is I want them to admit they do exist, they are real. We are not the only ones in the solar system. They don't have to talk about their bases they already have on Mars, their bases on the moon. They don't have to talk about none of that, because none of that, I already know it exists, and I don't care. I just want them to tell the truth about this one little white lie they've been telling to us for fucking decade after decade after decade. Project Blue Book has not been a disappointment on the History Channel. It is mind-blowing. You need to fucking watch it. If you haven't seen it, go and fucking, get it on demand. They got it on demand. Go fucking watch it. It's based on true events, and it's all about the U.S. and how they, were covering up the different UFO events around the world. He's into meditation. Yes, I'm into that too, disclosure. And I also do UFO summoning. And I have gotten numerous results from it. During the summertime, I will sit outside. And what I do is I stare into the bluest part of the sky I can see, right? And I take my mind and I take it up into space. And I tell, any UFO, any alien race to try to pick up my brain signal. And I basically lead them back with my mind. I pretend like I'm in a spacecraft and I have to fly to Earth. And where on Earth I am, you see the Americas and everything. You fly down by the Great Lakes, by Buffalo, and I take them all the way here till I'm through the atmosphere, till I'm barreling down in the Niagara River, and then I even make the right and go towards my house, bring them up the one street and up the other street, all in my mind, and show them how to get here. And I ask them to, show themselves, and in a peaceful way, and I've gotten numerous results from it. I've only had a couple of times where I never seen anything, but a lot of those times it was interrupted and I had to go somewhere or do something right after I did it. But and Greer's into that shit too, you know what I mean? He does shit like that all the time, where him and groups of people will just channel with their minds and and he'll tell you the same thing. You got to try to bring them down and guide them down with your mind on how to get here and where you're at. And then if there's a craft anywhere near Earth in that general vicinity, they'll pick up that brain signal you're sending them, and they'll come down and show you their craft. It might not be low. It might be super duper high. You can barely make them out. But you're going to see something. It's worked on several occasions for me. Even occasional extraterrestrial beings through transcendental meditation. Yes, and that's exactly what I do. Disclosure. That's exactly what it is. It's meditating, because you can't talk to nobody. You can't have nobody talking. You need full concentration, and you have to take yourself into space and basically grab them by the hand and talk to them and then guide them down to where you're at in your mind. It's very hard to wrap your mind around, but it actually does work. And I'm going to tell you how I know this works, because I get results from it. And also, after I do it, I get extreme headaches and my eyes will hurt. Like, my eyes will start hurting and I will get these intense headaches afterwards. Anytime I do it, UFO summoning, I get weakened. Like, my brain gets weakened. I feel low, out of energy. I get headaches. And it takes a lot out of you. It really does. And it's not something you want to do every day, because it will fucking drain you emotionally and physically. I'm telling you. Don't believe me? Try it for yourself. But you got to be serious about it. You can't be no half-asser about it. This shit does work. And this summer, I'm going to do more UFO summoning events. I'm going to do live feeds where I UFO summon. And I just wish I had more people to do it with me. You know what I mean? And come to my location. We'll go up to the Letchworth State Park. State parks are a big target for UFOs, and they are more prevalent and susceptible to come down in a national park. And Letchworth is, not that far away from here. I want to go this summer and do a UFO summoning from Letchworth State Park down in the canyons of, they call it the Grand Canyon to the east. And I want to go there and I want to do some UFO summoning. And there's a lot of strange shit that happens at Letchworth State Park. There's a lot of ghosts. I forget the one lady. She held up there. She was an Indian, and she hid in one of the caves like people were looking for. There's stories to it all. I've actually heard, I've almost been struck by lightning twice in one day at Letchworth State Park. A bolt of lightning came down and it hit the ground literally probably 10 feet away from me. And then one hit the tree that was directly across the river from me. But the river's only, it's a small stream. It's about as big as my house going by. So you can literally, run for 5 seconds and you're on the other side. And right on the other side, lightning hit a tree and it split in two and it started on fire and the whole tree was just burning while we were sitting there fishing. Me and my friend Kevin, we were like, holy fuck. Then we went to a little pond at Letchworth State Park to try to catch some little trout. And while we were there, lightning struck a telephone pole that was right next to me. Struck the pole, made the wire snap completely right off the pole. The wire swung right in front of my face so much that I felt the wind on my nose from the wire as it flew past my face. And then it was blocking the road. It was just hanging there blocking the road from where our car was. And when we finally found someone and told them about it, and we were worried about having to drive out, the wire hitting the car and zapping us or whatever, and we told the guy, and he was like, what happened? I was like, things snapped off, went right in front of my face, missed me by like that much. He goes, that's a live wire. He goes, if that wire would have hit you, you would have been fucking instantly toasted. Roasted, toasted, toastified. And that was two different times in one day at Letchworth State Park. I almost got struck by lightning. And another time, I heard a lot of ghost stories from out of there, and I hear a lot of people talking about Native American ghosts that haunt Letchworth State Park. And people pick up orbs there all the time in their pictures. They'll just have orbs everywhere around them. You know what I mean? And that's happened to me in the Adirondacks, where we took pictures and there was orbs everywhere. We knew we were surrounded by ghosts. But here, a few different times, you even hear them. You will hear Native Americans like banging a little drum, like doom 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 doom, and then you'll hear like that chant they do, the Native American chant. You'll hear that very slightly coming from the woods at fucking Letchworth State Park, and walk through the woods to try to find it. There's nothing there. The noise will stop. Then you go back to the river, it'll start again. Doom 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 doom. Then you'll hear the Native Americans chanting and singing. It's fucking nuts. So that spot has a lot of energy. Letchworth State Park is like an energy ball. I'm sure there are portals there for spirits to come into our realm, and even for UFOs to step into our realm. I'm sure it's possible, and I'm almost positive there's got to be portals in this spot. This place is haunted. I almost got killed there. Why go back? I know you say, why go back, right? Well, because I'm an to the extreme kind of guy. You know what I mean? I want to push myself to the outer limits with things like that, with supernatural forces and UFOs and things like that. Aliens. Yeah. It's something that you have to master and practice. Yes, it is disclosure. You definitely have to master it and practice it. It's not something you're going to be able to just sit down in your first time and get results. Because I didn't get results till probably my third or fourth time. And each time I concentrated more and, got more vivid in my mind. And to the point where I actually seen a few things in the sky hovering right above my house, these red objects. And it was a broad day sighting too. It was, broad daylight. It was partly cloudy, but there wasn't that many clouds in the sky. And these three objects were just sitting above my house, and then one, all of a sudden, there was a flash of light, and it shot over, and it was over to the northwest, and you could see it in the sky in the northwest, and the other two were still over my house. Then all of a sudden, you see a flashlight, and the thing came back above my house. That was the time I could not record it. I'm hitting record on my phone, and no matter what I do, my phone will not record the video to get these things on video. Nothing. I'm hitting the shit to the point where I'm almost breaking my fucking screen on my phone. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Come on, come on. And it would not load. It would not even play. Nothing. It wouldn't do anything. And then the minute these things left, when they all flashed out and they left and they weren't, and I couldn't see them in the sky anymore, bloop, I hit the button one time and it started fucking recording. So how the fuck is that even possible? There was forces of nature that were out of my control that were at play there and stopping me from catching something so fantastic on video. It would probably involve the Men in Black. I seen a black triangular mini UFO one time fly right over my head, right over my house, so fast that I didn't even have time to get my camera in the fucking sky. And it was so low, but it was only about as big as a small car. It wasn't that big. Not even. It was about half the size of that. It could have been a drone. It really could have been a drone. But I'll never know. Thing fucking flew over my head, flew over the houses over here, and disappeared. I'll never know what it was. It could have been a drone. It could have been a UFO. Good to meet you. I'm Will. Well, that's my name. I'm Will, too. Disclosure, exposure. But yep, there you have it, people. We covered a lot of shit. I'm exhausted from talking. But what will we have first? Disclosure or an extinction level event? My money's on disclosure because I believe the extinction level event will happen in 2021 to 2023. I think disclosure's coming in 2020. Towards the end of 2020. Probably the fall of 2020. Like going into the Christmas and winter months. I think that's when it's going to happen. Right around Halloween. What a dream. Hey, a man could dream, right? And then I will jump for joy like I just won a fucking Oscar. Because like I said, I'm not asking for all the technology you have. I'm not asking you to tell me about your bases and that, Venus is like Earth and that we can actually live there and that you have people stationed on every planet in our solar system and our moon. You don't have to tell us all that because we know all that. Just tell us, yes, aliens are real and they do exist. We are not alone on this planet. That's all I'm asking the United States government to do. And I don't want another government to beat them to the punch. But that might happen too. Okay? Another country might disclose and then the U.S. can play that perfectly. They can act dumb and act stupid like, oh my God, really? What did you find? Can we look at it? Can we test it? Oh my God, I can't believe it. They actually do exist? That's crazy. And act all stupid. You know what I mean? That would be perfect. So they might even recruit another country to do the disclosure so it doesn't make them look like liars. It just makes them look like they had no idea this was happening. Get what I'm saying? Don't be surprised if old Putin boy isn't the one to disclose over there. I know, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. We got products that we eat and drink that now have aliens and UFOs, like brisk lemonades have aliens and UFOs on the fucking container. Red Bull commercials with aliens in it. I seen a commercial for insurance that had UFOs and aliens in it. We got Bob Lazar's movie that just came out. We got the show. There's actually a show called Roswell that just came out. We got Project Blue Book out. We got more and more Ancient Alien shows coming out every week. Like space programs, like mysterious lights in our sky everywhere all of a sudden. Come on, people. We're headed towards disclosure. You can jump on board or you can kick rocks. What do you choose? Did you people see the alien video I posted on here? I don't know if that's real or fake. I have no idea. All I know is that supposedly it happened in Indonesia and the thing was found by an Indonesian farmer. That's all the info I got on the thing. But I don't know if it's real or fake, I want to say it's fake, but there was parts of it that looked really real. Especially when the dog came up to it and started sniffing it. And YouTube, as soon as I posted it, 5 minutes after I posted it, put a tag on it and made it so it was age, whatever. You had to be above a certain age to view the video and you had to click continue or whatever. You know how that comes up sometimes on videos? They put that on my video. I didn't have nothing, in the description or nothing in the thing that screamed out, whatever. If aliens are supposed to be fake, then it's just like telling a story about the boogeyman. I don't think they would put that inappropriate. So you get what I'm saying? That's what makes me think, part of me thinks maybe it is real. But if it is, then that's other type of gray race that I haven't seen because, you know, that skinny, that whatever, that one guy's autopsy video. I forget his name, but I believe that was real. That was authentic. You know what I'm saying? That was authentic. I'm pretty sure that was authentic. That looked real to me. Plus, I had a vivid dream of aliens that I was on a UFO in space, and that alien from that autopsy video was the same alien from in my dream. It looked almost spit image, the same as the one in my dream. That's what they looked like in my dream. And my dream happened before I even seen the autopsy video. So there's no way I could have dreamt it from seeing the video and maybe dreamt of it. I didn't see the video till after I already dreamt it. This happened years and years ago. So I believe that that's what, you know, one of the races looks like. I believe that's the race that everyone says is the Greys or whatever, but they're like somewhere in between this and us. It's like a crossbreed between this and us. That's exactly what it looks like. They look like humans, but just small humans like this. But they have oblong heads and shit like that. So who knows? Who knows? You know? More and more videos every day, though, I will tell you that, of strange shaped objects. All different shapes and sizes. You know, triangles to fucking saucers to fucking cylinders, cigars. You know, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. More mysterious blue lights, this Project Blue Beam, whatever. Fucking, you know, I seen this mysterious blue beam in the sky fucking 2 years ago. You know what I mean? And people thought I was crazy, and I got it on video. It would turn on and off like a light switch. But it was only that circle of blue light. People are seeing that same light I seen 2 years ago everywhere, in London, everywhere. I got videos all over my page of the exact same thing that I used to see 2 years ago. And no one else was reporting on this or showing this 2 years ago. So I was one of the first people to actually capture this shit in our fucking skies. So I get brownie points for that. But now it's being seen every day all over the fucking world. You know, the latest one was in Ohio or Indiana or something. One looked just fucking like the one I seen, you know? And even in London, they start out like that, then they come, then there's more lights, and there's circles of lights everywhere. It's like, what's going on? Is this HAARP? Is this weather manipulation? Is this, you know, Blue Beam Project? Is this UFO related? I don't know. All I know is that this thing's not coming from the ground, because when I seen it, I drove as far as I could to try to get as close to this thing as I could, and it never got any closer. So this thing wasn't on the ground. This thing was coming from above, projecting on a chemtrail or a cloud. And you only seen it on days when it was cloudy. If there was no clouds or chemtrails, it had nothing to project on, and you could not see the fucking thing. You know, I would see it every other day. If there was clouds over south, it was directly to the south of me. And if there was clouds over there, that one summer, I would see it every night. I seen it for like 2.5 weeks, something like that. But I seen it like, sometimes I seen it, you know, back to back, on back-to-back nights. It all depends on if it was cloudy or heavy chemtrailing. But I was one of the first people to see that phenomenon in the sky, and now people are seeing that every fucking day. And now I'm not looking so crazy. Mr. Nibiru Freedom Fighter's not looking so motherfucking crazy no more. Something's causing it. They're not telling us. Our government knows about it. You know, I'm sure they've got many reports about it. They know about it, so what's causing it? Come on. They know what's causing it. It's probably them. Or it's forces out of our control, like an extraterrestrial race doing some type of thing. It could be space weapons being tested. You know what I mean? You got all these 5G towers going up. Why do you think all these 5G towers are going up, people? Because we're going to be like dogs with the shock collars on when we get too close to the road. You know how it zaps the dog and then they know don't go by the road? Well, those 5G towers are basically like shock collars for us. And when they press the button, when shit gets out of hand and a kill shot happens and knocks out our grids and people start rioting, well, The U.S. is just going to push a button. It's going to, and then in our heads, we're going to, our ears are going to fill up and start ringing, and then it's going to be, and we're going to be like, make it stop, and we're not going to want to go anywhere and hurt anybody. We're just going to want that to stop. And anytime we get close to rioting or something, they just push the button, and it's like, okay, we'll be good. It's their way of controlling us. But see, we have yet figured out how they're doing this. So all we need to do is find all the 5G towers in your local area and destroy them. Rip them all down and destroy them if something like this were to happen. But how would you even get close to one? Because they would just zap you and you wouldn't want to climb to destroy it then. So we would have to destroy these things before an event happened. Okay? So if they said, in 48 hours, Earth's facing a deadly ray that can cause a kill shot, then we have 48 hours to hit as many grids as possible. Take many G whatever towers, and rip them all down and fucking destroy them. The 5G networks. To fry our brains, you got it. It's very quiet tonight, weird but good. Yeah, I don't really have big live feeds anymore. I don't pack them in like I used to, that's for sure. My last page, I had like 500 subs, and I used to fill the rooms pretty good. We used to have between 10 and 20 people here, for the most part. But since I, deleted that page and had to restart, changed the name, I only got like 160 subscribers now, so it's taken me a while to build up, a little bit of a fan base again. A lot of my followers and a lot of people that were diehards and, members of the team, basically jumped ship. They left, they went to other channels, things like that. Because I still see some of them that used to be my own mods and stuff on other people's channels and other people's live feeds, but they never come to my page, so it's hard, to fill the rooms nowadays. Tough crowd, but like I said, one of these days I'm going to catch something so mind-blowing in the sky, and when I put that shit out on video, it's going to go viral. Fucking viral. Quality, yeah, you're absolutely right. Get over it. That's absolutely right. I agree with that 100%. Quality over quantity. I will take 2 or 3 people and have a great live feed where we're interacting, talking, rather than have 20 people and fucking be getting trolled and everything. You know what I mean? You're right. You're absolutely right. Fine, you're right. Well, I've only got a couple minutes left here, and I gotta hop off here. I gotta go get dinner for everybody, and yeah, I'm trying to hang in there, Disclosure. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys. Get over it in Disclosure. If you guys haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Help me out. Let's get them numbers up there. Try to fill these rooms. Put the word out. All things sky related, UFO related, and our live feeds. I don't hesitate to talk about whatever's on my mind, whether it's wrong or right. I'm going to say it. There's no filter when it comes to me. I just fucking I tell it how it is, and I say what I feel. And, I talk about things the government sure as hell doesn't want anybody talking about. And we talk about those things. And there's not a lot of pages out there that do that. So let's show some love and show some support to the little people, the little of us that there are. Oh yeah, let's sub each other. I'll sub you. But you got to leave a comment on one of my videos. Go on one of the older videos from today and leave a comment, Disclosure. And then I'll be able to click on your page from there. And then I'll subscribe. Good night. Get over it. Good night. I think I might be already subbed to your page, Get Over It. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not. I'm a little person. Sub me. No problems. Alright, guys. Take it easy. I gotta get going. Peace and love, y'all. Y'all be safe. We'll see you midweek. Tuesday, probably. Tuesday, if not Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll go live again, and then I'll do another one either Saturday or Sunday. So, Just remember, twice a week I go live. It's either always going to be on Tuesday, usually Tuesdays and Saturdays, but sometimes I got something I got to do, so I'll go Wednesday. Sometimes Saturday might be busy, so I'll go Sunday. But for the most part, Tuesdays and Saturdays, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time usually, and we'll talk about the talkings, the day-to-day, you know, ongoing things that need to be addressed in the communities. Peace and love, guys. Good night.